Now, the importance of the sales rank. Why is it so important? If a product's never sold, so it's never achieved a sale, we 100% tell you and advise you not to purchase it, because through arbitrage, you are buying products that you've got stats to analyze, that you know are going to sell, that the sales are there. You don't want to buy stock on a whim and hope that they're going to sell. So you need to make sure that you're not taking any gambles or risks in this business of losing capital and investing heavily in products that haven't got a sales rank at all on Amazon. So let's look a bit deeper into an example. Now, as I said earlier within this training, Keepa pulls the sales rank data from Amazon at least once per hour. So every 60 minutes from a product listing that's live on Amazon and then updates onto the graph. And that's all of the information that we covered. So everything that you can see on the right-hand side key, all of that goes into the graph. Now, for the purpose of this example, I've only turned on the toggle switch for the sales rank, which you can see on the right-hand side. It's important to remember that anytime a sales rank goes up, as indicated on the graph, and it then drops to a low number, this indicates at least one sale. So you can see here on the left-hand side, it drops right down. That indicates a sale. So anytime that BSR is at a high number, in this example, 81,296, and then it dropped down to 33,470 on the same day, that indicates and tells you that it's at least one sale. It could be more, but we know it's at least one sale. So every time there's a dip or a drop to the right, it is at least one sale. Now, when the BSR creeps back up again, as shown here on the slide where it says no sale, that is telling you that it's having a sales rank adjustment, as indicated in the rows. So, and that's all dependent on how many products are in each category. But what it basically means is other products sitting within that category are having a sale. So there's always a sales rank adjustment. So from a high number down to a low number, that's when there is a sale. But if we look at this graph in more detail, we can also see that more than 80% of this product's time frame, so we've got around about mid-October through to November, mid-November, so it's a month's view, is around about less than 81,000. Now, why is this so important? Reason being is if you've got a specific set sales rank criteria for a category you're sourcing in, so let's say that you're sourcing in the beauty category and you don't want to buy any products that have a sales rank of 81,000, like in this example, you might discount it. But what you've got to factor in is what was it the majority of the time? Because at the time of you reviewing the product, it could have a high BSR. It might not have had a sale in the last 60 minutes, in which case that sales rank could have increased. But if you actually look at the history, what's the percentage ratio of it being low to high? And we can see here indicated by the yellow background that the majority of this product was actually around about on average achieving a 50,000 sales rank number, which means actually quite a good return and quite a good sales velocity for the beauty category. Now, if we look at the next slide, we can then add the buy box into this. So we've obviously added the sales rank in the previous example, and we've now got the buy box, the pink diamond. So I've turned on the toggle switch on the right-hand side, and we can then analyze the correlation between the buy box and then also the sales rank dips, so the drops to the right, which indicate at least one sale. So you can see that at the time of the sales rank was at around about 81,000. An FBA seller had the buy box at £17.09. And the sales rank at that time of him or her having that buy box and set the buy box at that price dropped to 35,242. So we can assume that they had at least one sale, if not more, of that product at that time of them having the buy box rotation. And we can potentially also assume here by looking at the graph that they actually held the buy box up until the second buy box diamond appears on the right-hand side. That was around about just before the 1st of November. And if we'll also look at the correlation between the yellow section in the middle of this graph, we can also see that the buy box reduces in price. So at the start of this graph, it was around about just over £17. And then in the middle of this graph, you can see in the yellow highlighted area, it drops to around about £16. And the correlation between the buy box dropping, you can also see there's also a drop in the sales rank, whereby the sales velocity picked up because the price was reduced slightly. Now, you might think it's only a pound. You'd need to factor that in. So what's the average price over the last 90 days, the last 180 days, so 6 months of that product history? And can you compete with the average price that that buy box was achieving for that period of time? And what is the sales velocity? So how many sales has that product been achieving? What's the sales rank that it's providing? Now, I say how many sales is it achieving because we can tell whether or not it's a good product from the sales rank number, but actually how many sales is a product achieving? And we can actually count those using the Keepa graph, and not a lot of people realize this. And you can actually count depending on the actual sales velocity and the BSR number, you can actually count it for a month period, a week period, or probably even longer. And you want to be able to do that, especially if you don't have a deal analyzer that tells you the estimate over the last month. But also you want to make sure that if there's ever a glitch with anything that you're using, whether it be a calculator or a deal analyzer, that you can safely count the sales on Keepa to be sure that you know how many they're achieving.